Welcome and good evening. It is February 26th, and welcome to the Chevy Nova 7374 Nova Hour. I'm David Meyer. I'm one of the on the Facebook group Chevy Nova 7374. And I just want to mention that if you are watching this from outside of the group, because I do upload it to our YouTube channel later on, and you do wish to become a member of our group, please fill out all the questions and please make sure you have pictures of your car that we can access when looking at your profile, whether a cover picture or a profile picture, just because we want to make sure that we are adding 7374 Nova owners to our group. It's not really a group for people to troll or cause drama. We want to keep it mostly Nova owners only. So there are a little bit of restrictions. Our group is hard to get into, but you have to answer the questions. So got that out of the way. Welcome to the show. And it looks like Carter. Hey, buddy, how you doing? He's the first guy to help us out tonight and join us. How you doing, buddy? Just going to, I got my laptop going here too. That way I can make sure the stream is going well along with the computer, because sometimes the computer hangs and I hate computers. All right, so let's see here. I get confused which mouse to use. And of course it's taking forever to load. Isn't that fantastic? So how you doing tonight, Carter? And Patrick. Hey, Pat. How you doing? I know you're in the middle of doing a bumper tuck. Boo. Wondering how that's going. How you doing, buddy? Oh, there, we're going to put the mute because I don't need to listen to myself on time delay. So we'll just wait a few minutes before we get going. Make sure some other people join in. Have a question for everybody. Need your help. And I'll wait a few minutes till some people join. Excuse me. Mr. Turner, how you doing, Brian? Welcome to the stream. We're just starting up, waiting for people to talk. Join in on the chat. Hopefully the chat's working. Yeah, somebody send me a chat. Say hello. Let's make sure this is working. Okay. All right. It says I got 10 people watching. Okay, good. Somebody just said hello. Hey, Brian. Thanks for confirming that this is actually working. And so we got 12 people joining us. All right. Well, welcome to the people who are trolling in the background. As you can see, my 73 Nova is parked beside me, and we're waiting for spring. And in the background there, that's my girlfriend, 73 Chevelle SS. And she's rewiring the car. It's her drag car. It took me 17 years, 2 cars, 2 motors, and 13 grand to beat her once. And then she upgraded and put a 565 in there. And we don't dare try again. Alrighty. Dean, how you doing, buddy? And Jimmy Hill, welcome. Not too much is up, Pat. Just my ball hockey's winding down. I've been playing a lot of hockey. That's why I haven't been doing any streams. Or I've been helping out in the garage. And just haven't had time to start everything up. But hey, we made time tonight. And Alberto, how you doing, buddy? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Dale Simonson, how you doing, buddy? And John Gilmore, what's up? In the shop pulling a rear out of a 73. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. That's actually one thing I've never done in a Nova, is actually pull the rear end out of a car. I don't even think I've done that. Oh, no, maybe I have done that in a parts car. But I don't remember. But yeah, it sounds like fun. What are you doing on the rear end there, John? You just cleaning it up, putting it in, or changing it out for a 12 bolt? You can't leave us hanging here. And also, Pat, just wondering how your bumper tuck is going. Patrick was posting earlier this week that he was finally tucking in the bumpers on his Nova. And Jimmy, yes, I am too. I'm not sure where you live. I live in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. And it's still winter time here, although it's gone a little warmer lately. The past few days have been a little cooler, around 0 Fahrenheit, I would say. Usually lucky in March, it gets warmer here. Snow starts to melt. And I could take the car out if I really wanted to, but I tend to wait, give it a few extra weeks and wait till about April, mid-April, till at least the streets are dry. or at least dry enough that I can get to the main street and cruise on the main streets. But it's going to be probably mid-April before my Nova sees the road. Oh, okay. It has C-clip eliminator, switching it to a housing without ends cut off. Interesting. Actually, we had a talk earlier this week. It was posted in one of the threads about rear end and about C-clip eliminators and the benefits of them. I, for one, was one of those people who didn't know what the advantages of them are. And, oh, Rob Exton has joined. Hey, Rob. Sorry to compete with you today on a Wednesday. It's Rob hosts a show with a couple of his friends, SPP TV. If you want, check them out. If you got 2 monitors, put one on each. Those guys are hilarious, and I wish I could join them tonight, but I'm helping between helping Shelly, and I've been wanting to do a Nova stream for some time now, so I wasn't able to make the SPP show. But I noticed Clayton and Rob posted something about a solo cup shortage. And I was wondering if the show was going to be canceled tonight. So Patrick got his rear bumper done, and he will be putting it back on Friday. So did you just collapse the shocks or remove the shocks and you're going straight to the frame? I know that's a popular way of doing a tuck on a 74. And then he will be starting his front bumper. So, sorry, getting back to the C-clip eliminators. Apparently, if I'm getting this correct from what I read, when your axles go in, they bolt. Is that how it works, Shelley? Or no, it's a C-clamp that holds the axles in the housing. And then when you do a C-clamp eliminator, it's then like a little bracket or whatever that bolts in to keep your axles in the car. So. Is that how it is? I'd have to look at the post again. Hopefully I'm getting that someone right. Or if somebody can correct me, that'd be fantastic. And yeah, Patrick's just saying that he's doing his bumper tuck by removing the shocks. Right on. Well, we got 17 viewers, so let's take a moment, folks. The chat's open here. Say hello. It doesn't have to just be me talking. If somebody wants to join in and start a conversation or has a question, hey, by all means, that's what we're here for. If I don't have the answer, maybe somebody will. The question I have for folks, oh, Jimmy says he's in Illinois. The question I have for folks is vintage radios. I know some people have upgraded the radios in their cars, and I have one I got from the junkyard. It's just a knob radio because I didn't want to cut the dash of my car. But my girlfriend's looking for something for the old Chevelle. Well, actually, the yellow one that's in the backyard. Wants something with knobs that she doesn't have to cut the dash, but also something vintage so it looks kind of stock and original, but has the option of connecting Bluetooth so she can use her Spotify. Because apparently the good old AM radio just isn't cutting it anymore, eh? No. Just can't handle listening. There's 2 stations. There's CJOB. No, actually there's 3, because there's that TSN 1290, which is a sports station, CJOB, which is just nattering and news, and then there's some Christian church station, and yeah. I'm a good Christian and all, but even I can't stand listening to that for hours on end. Alrighty. And oh, hey, Doug Toe has joined us. Doug, he is the admin of the Leela Nova group. Leela is his first granddaughter to be born, and he is building a 73 Nova for her. And years ago started the group Leela Nova. So if you ever hear what Leela Nova in the background, or when I'm typing stuff or whatever, or sometimes you see the banner up in the back of my garage, it's to support Doug's group there. And hey, Daniel Carroll, how you doing, buddy? He's up in Alaska, if I believe, and it will be a while yet before he's driving his car. I've been a little lazy, Doug, and I haven't cut the hair or groomed or anything because I don't know how superstitious any of you folks are. When I play hockey, I am a goaltender. And you know us goalies, we're a little funny and we have our superstitions. And of course, one of the superstitions for any hockey player really is, growing the facial hair out during playoff runs. And because I play for so many teams, I just haven't done it yet. And I still have 2 more playoff games to go next Sunday, Monday. And after that, it's time for a haircut. Actually, I should probably just do the haircut tonight because I don't think my teams really have any chance of winning, Shelley. Well,
Yeah,
no.
fake.
Yeah, but we're already in B-side. So yeah. So yeah, maybe, whatever. I'll clean up for next stream. All right, and then Jimmy Hill, Shelly, he says he has retro sound.
Retro sound.
Retro sound. So let's look that up on the other monitor here. Classicautosound.ca. Oh, is that actually a Canadian company?
Oh, that'd be good.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Oh, they got...
Fantastic.
Oh, yes, I was on this site earlier. Holy crap, $500, $400. Oh, here's one, Shelly.
Okay.
$262. Yee. You know what? It'd be cheaper to just to buy a Bluetooth speaker and put it in the back seat. Yee. That's steep for a radio. And yeah, Jimmy has one that has an O in, so I think you could plug something in externally, whether it be your phone or.
Okay.
But I would think you'd want something Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would want too. But $500 on a radio? That's a little steep for me. Not that I could hear a radio in my car with.
Depends on how important it is to you, right?
Well, I could see in your car being important because it's a stock 352 barrel. It doesn't rumble. But in the Nova, when you're playing and cruising around, you can't hear it.
No.
Like when we're driving on the highway at $3,000.
No.
Yeah, you wouldn't hear the radio. But thank you for that. So retro sound, I got that out. Maybe I'll look through the website. There might be something a little more budget friendly. And Daniel was just saying that he does drive his 1970 Nova in the wintertime. Actually, Daniel, when I first put my 74 Omega together, that was my intention, was for the Omega to be my winter car. And then after all the work we put into it and seeing what winters do to our cars, I couldn't subject myself to doing that to the Omega, and then I ended up with 2 beaters. Oh, Jimmy. So Jimmy, where are you? Are you actually from Canada, or did you order from the States? Because yeah, I'm just looking at the Canadian prices here, and yeah, there's nothing around $200 really. And Sean Michael Myers. Hey buddy, how you doing? Sean's been posting some videos lately, getting his Nova back together. And oh yeah, they do have Bluetooth ones, Shelly. Retro sound.
Okay.
So we'll definitely have to look that out.
Look that up.
And John's rubbing it in that he drives his in the wintertime, but he's also in Georgia.
Oh, a lot different.
Yeah, I wish I could drive my car year round, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad I don't, because it gives me time to save up money for parts and stuff when, we do upgrades, or, for gas if I want to drive it. But it would be nice to drive this thing year round. I find though sometimes in the summertime, after I drive it for a bit, come August, I get a little kind of like, oh, let's drive the other car, this or that. And then before I know it, boom, winter's here. And it's like, oh, I should have driven the Nova again. So I kind of go through, midsummer blues and withdrawals. But last summer I had my Mustang out. I drove that for a month, and then I was doing movie stuff. So I didn't really get a lot of time to drive the Nova, which was unfortunate. But yeah, this summer I want to take a lot more pictures. Like more for front ends, different for front end Fridays. Get some from the sides, and then Motor Monday, take some more pictures. I want to get some new pictures for our theme days, because I think I've pretty much used everything I have. Of course, I just want to reiterate that no bumper tuck in here, stock and original, and that's how it's going to stay, and with the proper 73 front. I just wanted to throw that out. All right, Doug Toe from Lila Nova. He's got a Bluetooth stereo with DVD for his Nova at Walmart. The thing is, Doug, is I don't want to cut the dash. We don't want to cut the dash in our car, so it has to be one of those older knob-style radios. And Sean says hello to all the great Nova people here. And we have 11 viewers right now. Oh, okay, Jimmy is from Illinois, St. Louis. That's right, sorry. So yeah, it would be a little cheaper to order in the States than it is here, unfortunately. And Brian Turner reports that it is 60 degrees where he lives. Let me take a look what it is here in Winnipeg. Winnipeg temperature, it is minus 14 Celsius or 7 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's supposed to be, let's see, Thursday. will be a high of 7. Friday, it's supposed to cool down to 22. 30, or no, warm up, sorry, to 22. Saturday, 30, so almost 0 degrees for us. And then cools down to 14. Oof. So slowly it's trying to warm up a little here, but the big thing is we can't have it melt too fast because we'll flood. And Winnipeg has had problems with flooding the last few years. We also had a very damp fall time, so we can't have too much moisture because the ground is already saturated. If you're in Georgia, the word winter is not the same thing. Hey, Dave Williams, how you doing? Yeah, winter up here in Manitoba, to me, usually means cold, lots of snow, 4x4 in trucking, and hockey. And Pat's rubbing it in that he gets to drive his Nova all year. You know, I really wish that I could, but yeah. And hey, I got one guy on my side here that the front on the 73 is the best stock, that the 74 sticks out a little too far. That is true. Those front bumpers do stick out a little further, and then of course with the metal rebar inside of them makes them a lot heavier too. And I know a few of my friends, including one of my buddies, sold them a set of 73 brackets, just re-drill the holes on the end of the frame, and he uses a 73 bracket to lose 120 pounds on the front of his car. Johnny Davis has joined us. How you doing, buddy? And Brian Turner's in Arizona. Oh, that'd be nice. And Pat's just replying to you, John, there, saying that's why he's tucking his 74. Honestly, Pat, I thought your car was a 73. I didn't realize it was a 74. And Sean has reported that he had built the center console because he didn't want to cut his dash. He couldn't do that, and he thought about it but couldn't do it. I'm assuming that Sean is talking about a radio, and I was in the same boat years and years ago when I first started driving the Nova, because I always wanted to keep it stock looking and original. I couldn't bring myself to cut the dash because, oh yeah, you know, you could buy another dash down the road, but it's not the same. And Sean's just saying that he built a center console so he could put the radio, he could put the radio in there. I've actually thought of building a center console just so that I could put speakers on the front, but now they make those kick panels that have speakers. So I'm not too sure what I'm going to do. Right now for speakers in my car, I'm running 2 6x9s and just little speaker boxes behind my front seat because I have the optional rear speaker in my car, which was an additional $19.99 when my dad ordered the car. And being that it was one of the options of the car, I couldn't bring myself to cut the deck lid at the back to put 2 speakers. So that's why I use speaker boxes. And then Daniel says that's why he doesn't make his car too pretty. He'd be afraid to drive it for the fear of ruining it. And John says that he has an HVAC contractor. He works on air one day, heat the next in Georgia. And Patrick Newman with that beautiful black 74 Nova. Looks good with the new wheels. I gotta admit, I really like the slots on it, but the new wheels look good too. And that is a beautiful Nova you have, sir. What's up? Not much, just hanging out in the garage. Girlfriend's working on her Nova. Or her Nova.
Oh my God.
Her Chevelle. You can tell I'm all excited to do the stream tonight. I can't get anything right. So yeah, she's working on her Chevelle, doing the wiring. She's making these plates to wire up all her gadgets and toys in her big block 10-second Chevelle there. Are you going to hit 9s this year?
I don't know.
Going for 9s? Yes, going for 9s. And hey, Rex, how you doing, buddy? Rex has joined us. And he has that beautiful, I believe his is a 73. That blue one with the white stripes down the side. That is a gorgeous car. And Jim has joined us. How you doing, Jim? He has a 74 Nova with disc brakes on the front, drum on the back. And he wants to go disc all the way around. Are there any ideas? I, Jim, don't have any ideas. I've been actually looking for a disc brake kit myself. I'm running standard drums all around on my car and power drums all around on the Omega. I've been looking at kits. I've looked at places, you know, like the Right Stuff. I looked at Jag, Summit. I don't know which package to get. I'm very leery of buying aftermarket brake stuff and that because down the road, where do I get these pads? Where do I get rotors? Do I have to get special bearings for special, you know, rotor setups in this, and it really makes me nervous. Like, I just want a stock setup. So I'm hoping to find somebody who's parting out an old Nova that has a disc set up in the front and just pull that off and just buy new calipers, new master cylinder, and do it that way, because just aftermarket makes me nervous. I haven't been able to find a good kit. But guys, if you can help Jim out, and I'm sure Jim, if you did a search on the group, on the forum, you might find some of the posts come up about the disc brake conversion. And Sean, also getting back to his console, talks about putting speakers in the center console and cup holders for snacks. Yeah, well, you know what? Actually, in my car, what I use for a cup holder, I have a bench seat in my car, and when I sit in the car and with the door closed, there's just enough of a gap right between the seat and the door that I can usually put my large Slurpee cup, and it just kind of tucks in nicely like that. So that's what I use for a cup holder. And rarely do I eat in the car, because usually I'm too busy hanging on for dear life, driving like an idiot. Oh, tell us about your 73. Is that original paint? Oh, okay, well, I don't know how to go about it. For the most part, the car is original still on the outside, except for the right fender. The right fender was replaced in an accident in 1997. When a lady turned right from the left lane. She took out my bumper, right front fender. This is a replacement hood. My original hood got destroyed when I hit a pedestrian in 1996. I hit him right bang dead center, just like this. I can still picture him rolling up my hood, making eye contact with him when he was about right there. It must be in neutral. Well, anyway. So the hood's black. The rest of the car is pretty faded. I don't have the camera hooked up to walk around the garage, because I had trouble with it a long time ago and I thought it was the cord, and I just haven't hooked it up, so I can't walk around the car with it just yet. But paint's very faded on the roof. It used to be parked outside for quite some time before I bought a house and built a garage. The interior has been redone. It's still factory buckets, column shift car. Or bench seat, with column shift. It was originally a houndstooth interior, but I got the seats redone last year, and I just got in black vinyl with the same pattern that it had with the houndstooth in terms of the sewing lines. And under the hood originally was a 352 barrel. Well, we got rid of that, and we are running a 406 small block Chevy built by Dan Clem, who's a member of our group. I'm running a Holley Sniper EFI fuel injection system with a dual sync distributor. Electric fan. I'm running aftermarket headlights with the LEDs. I have the LEDs hooked up as daytime running lights, so they come on with ignition. Turbo 350 transmission and 342 still stock posi. 352 Richmond gears. And this car is done the best of 1223, 1228 with Holley 650 carb. With the fuel injection, 12.5, and last year playing with timing and this and that, I was running about 12.6 with it with a strong headwind. So that's pretty much it for my car. If you have any questions, yeah, that's kind of cool. I'll try, if you want, Jimmy, I can always get you some better pictures of the car. Or maybe next week, what I'll do is I'll set up that extension cord and we can go for a walk around the car. And Timothy Tanner Cox, yo, hey Timmy, how you doing, buddy? I see you're excited. You finally got your Nova on the road there. A lot of late nights with you wrenching, and it was good to see you and watch that video of you pulling out of the garage there. The smile on your face said it all. Brian Turner says he has non-power brakes or non-power drums, so manual drums. That's what I have. Yeah, just good old manual. And you know the beautiful thing about manual versus power is if, the car dies on you while you're driving or for some reason the car goes and dies, you still have your brakes and you still have your steering. That's one of the beautiful things I like about manual. Now my 74 Olds Omega has power steering and has power drum brakes. And yeah, you can tell the difference. The plus with power steering is the ratio. It's like what, 3.5 to 3.5 to lock. Where with manual steering, the ratio, it's almost 7 turns of the wheel, 3.5 each way, lock to lock. Brakes, of course, stopping with power brakes versus manual. But again, the bonus to manuals, if the ignition goes up, you still have your brakes and your steering. Personally, I like manual. It's one less thing to go wrong. You don't have to worry about pumps. You don't have to worry about hydraulic hoses. It's just, yeah, that's my opinion. Okay, where are we here? And what about spindles, like off a G body or off an F body? Not too sure, Timmy. I've heard, what is it? What's your car, Shelly? An A body?
A body?
I've heard that you can use Chevelle spindles, but you have to change the, what is it? I don't know what the exact name of it on the back of the spindle where the tie rod end hooks up to, because I believe it's a forward steer versus rear steer. I forget what it was. And I know Rob Exner was explaining it to me. He's a member of our group here for SPP TV. He was explaining to me, but I think you can use Chevelle ones on Novas if you flip that linkage thing around on the back of the spindle. I really wish I knew the term so I could give you some good information there. And Kim has joined us. Hey, Kim, Miss Nova girl, how you doing? She is one of the admins on our group. And of course, Kim, prayers go out to you and your family on the loss of a family there. We are thinking about you. Kim is one of the admins on the forum, and she's my backup. So, yeah, if you cause me grief, I'm just going to sick Kim on you, and she'll take care of things. Kim gets things done around here. All right, here we go. Yeah, Brian with his manual drum brakes. Yeah, I don't enter any stopping contests either. You know, really, drum brakes, there's nothing wrong with them. If you're driving normal in traffic and you're not driving like an idiot where, you know, you're on the gas, on the brake, on the gas, on the brake and heating them up, drum brakes are just fine. Like, I've been driving this car for 25 years. I can lock it up just as good with drums as I can with disc. Like, yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, Kim says she's just popping in to say hi. And hey, Matt Baker joins us. Matt, how you doing, buddy? This guy, I don't know if you've been following his posts on our Facebook group. He's pretty much doing almost a rotisserie restore on his Nova. I believe his is dark green like mine, so right away it's one of my favorite cars because I like green. Green is my favorite color, just coincidentally. And getting back to Sean Michael Myers here. He says you can use the spindles on a 69 Camaro on disc brakes. They are remanufactured a lot due to the car's popularity, and when you get to go get bearings or replacement pads, all you do is tell the guy that you need parts for a 69 Camaro. See, now that, well, I guess it's right here. That is what I'm looking for. Something like that where I can just say, I need this stock part, gimme. So you know what? I'm going to look that up. And yeah, Kim, you know what? We'll be waiting for you. We'll have another stream down the road, and you just take care of yourself, take care of the family, and we'll keep a parking spot for you on the next stream. Just take care of things. Okay, I'm getting a little behind on the comments here, guys. I apologize for that. Joshua Emery, how you doing, buddy? He says his car is a factory dark metallic green with green vinyl top. Oh, I believe is that 74 that's like stock looking? My car is, well, that's the original green, is the midnight green, code 48. Okay, does the inner supports on the hood bend up or is it pretty much flat? I'm trying to use the Vortec cover over the intake on my LS swap, but the cover hits the inside of the hood. Thinking of going with a cowl hood. Oh, Dave, I wish, I wonder if Rob Exner is still on because he has an LS in his Nova. In fact, twin turbo LS. That car is very impressive. It's hard to say. I could take some pictures of it. This looks like it's just like the stock hood with just the cutout, and then it's welded in with the cutout for the air cleaner. So I'm not sure how the Vortec engine would fit, but I think you would have to modify it, or you may have to get one that doesn't have this inner support. Because I think you're talking about at the front here, right? But you know what, sir? post a message in the group, because we do have 3 or 4 members with LSs, and they will have that knowledge and be more knowledgeable than I will be. And oh yeah, sounds like the same as my 73 350 base Nova, Jimmy Hill. Yeah, this was originally a 352 barrel car, but that changed in 2003 with the first 406 that I built. And in 2012, had Dan Clem. We talked to him one night. Me and my dad were hanging out in the garage. We said, Dan, we want to run 12s. Dan says, this is what we need. This is what he built. And yeah, I'm still having a lot of fun with it. And Matt Baker, yeah, my Canadian friend. How you doing, Matt? I hope things are well. Where did you get the clear turn signals from Jimmy Hill? Jimmy, I made them. And you know what? We get asked this every week. I don't know why I just don't leave these here, but let me get my parts. So yeah, basically you take your 73 housing like this. Then you take a razor blade and you put it in between there and you crack off the lens so you get just the housing like this. And then what you do is you spray paint it silver, or you can use chrome paint. And then you get yourself some lenses off a 1970 Nova, which I just happen to have here because the ones I have on my car, when I first made these were just going to be my prototypes because the lenses aren't very perfect, and I wanted to buy a new set of lenses, which I did, that are perfect, but I still haven't gone around, and it's been, what, 7-8 years that I've been running my prototypes. So what you do is you take your 70 lens like this, you take your die grinder, and you cut off the wings. And the other thing is, this lens is very square. So what I would do after I cut off the wings is I would tie wrap it against this orange lens, and then I'd use a bench grinder to round it out the sides, because you see how these are tapered a little on the sides? So what I would do is I would taper the ends a little here and here, and then this 70 lens will actually just snaps on the housing like that, and there you go. 73 clear lens. The idea is not mine. I do not take any credit for this. I got this modification idea from Steve F. on Steve's Nova site. That's that message for him. And Steve has a YouTube channel as well called the Reborn 74 Nova. Very good channel. Check it out. He's got a ton of videos on modifications when he rebuilt his 74 Nova. And I believe video 113 is how to make clear signal light lenses. And that's exactly where I got my idea. After making them, I did make a webpage on my Nova site for it. I could send you the link if you want. But it has a video of where I got it from. And that's, again, from Steve F. on Steve's Nova site. Or look up Reborn 74 Nova on YouTube. So, Steve, I'll just send you a quick link to my webpage there. There we go. And back to the main chat. Okay. Ooh. Okay. I'm way behind. Sorry, guys. There we go. In there. Okay. Oh, and then a 4-door box is 4 turns lock to lock. I am not aware of 4-door cars having a different steering box ratio than 2 doors. But that's very interesting. Is that power steering or manual steering, Dan? And hey, Robert Martino, how you doing, buddy? He's got that 74 Nova with the blue hood. And just finished having his rear end done. How do you like those 373s in there, Rob? You need a new set of tires yet. And Chris, how you doing, buddy? Welcome. I don't think I've seen your name before, but definitely welcome to the group. I haven't done a thing yet to his 74. I've been working on a friend's Ford Mustang to get going. Oh, I'm sorry to hear. He has cancer and is trying to get it going for his last ride. My 74 is all drums, had to stop her. Well, my prayers to your friend, of course, and hopefully you guys can get his car ready and going for a last ride. But for sure, when you start working on your 74 Nova, hey, we'll be here at the group waiting for you. Post pictures, post stories. We'll be there to help you, buddy. And Steve Hernandez. Oh, boy, am I slaughtering that one. I think I did that last time to you too, buddy. I apologize. Steve's got a 74 Olds Omega. and doing a beautiful bodywork and paint job to it. Nice candy apple red, if I remember correctly. He is a member of our sister group, and I believe, well, he's obviously a member of the Chevy Nova group too, because he wouldn't be here if he wasn't. But Steve, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. And Matt's currently waiting on parts for his car. Terry and Tiffany Augustine. Oh, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Again, I'm very bad with names. Hey, welcome, and thank you for joining us on our stream tonight. Of course, we're talking Novas. Whether it's your Nova, my Nova, or anybody's Nova or Nova parts, or if you want to talk to one of these guys, or anybody joining on the group, please go ahead. And recommend a manual master cylinder for four-wheel disc brake conversion from a 78 Camaro. Okay, you know what? I'm going to write that down. From a 98 Camaro, pardon me. Yes. And then Patrick, he's got power front disc and rear drum. Are those stock, Pat, on his 74 Nova? Larry Roach, he has that beautiful brown 74 Nova SS, if I remember correctly. And of course, me and him, we're good buddies. We're true non-tuckers and, stock front 73, 74s. Again, just, poking that can of worms there, am I, eh? And then Robert as well, he's just recently done a four-wheel disc brake conversion on his Nova, so he may have some answers too on what to use. And, Greg Horica. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. How you doing, buddy? He's actually a fellow Winnipegger, and we have yet to cross paths. We saw each other once at a World of Wheels, waved to each other, but I still have to go see him. Apparently he's got some Hot Wheels for me. So, Greg, yes, I got to come see you. Or, hey, why don't you come on down and be part of the stream with me? I can always use a co-host. And Daniel, okay, he's got power steering in his car. So, yeah, power steering, I know, is a different ratio. It has a different ratio than the manual steering box. It's almost in by half. And, Chris says that he has been on here a lot. He just doesn't comment. Well, that's no fun. Chris, come on, you got to join in and chat with us. I enjoy talking to everybody. But yeah, appreciate you watching our streams, and hopefully you find them somewhat either entertaining or informative. Ray Williams, how you doing, buddy? From California. He's got a beautiful blue big block 73 Nova. And okay, yeah, Pat's got the factory power disc and rear. Yeah, I wish I had that. Okay. Now, Sean Michael Myers, he is asking, I know you guys deal a lot with parts. Anyone know anyone with remanufacture the hood latch support for 73s? I don't. Doesn't mean somebody else doesn't. I might even have one or two kicking around. Unfortunately, I can't get to my shed right now because of the snow, and I got everything packed in there. But Sean, if you don't find anything come April, send me another message and I'll go dig in the shed, see if I have anything lying around, because I know I have a parts radiator cradle. I don't know if I still have a hood latch on it, support latch or not. You're referring to the hood latch, and you're also referring to the bracket that bolts from the latch to the rad support. And if anybody else can help Sean out right there, please send him a reply. Hey, Larry. And Terry and Tiffany, they have power steering on both their 73s and 74s. And I have toyed with the idea of putting power steering in the Nova, but again, now I got to worry about a power steering pump and hoses, and that's just something else to fail. Not that I'm worried about, robbing horsepower from the motor or whatever, but I have thought about it. And a few years ago, I did have to replace my steering box, and I did go with a manual again, just because that's what I'm used to, and that's what the car came with. But I think if I had to do it again, I might entertain a power steering setup. I am getting older. All right, the bracket from the latch to the rad support for sure. So yeah, he needs the whole system here, folks. He needs the latch and I guess that's a radiator grill support. I'm assuming that might be the name. I wish Tim Bourne was here because he is our Nova guru. I used to think I knew a lot, and then I met Tim. Tim is the guy. If he was here, he'd be able to correct me. Oh, excuse me. Oh, wrong mouse. And yeah, Dan, he has power steering in his. So I'm assuming a lot of people have power options on their car. So I must be one of the oddballs. That or my dad cheaped out when he ordered the car. I know I've talked to my dad sometimes, and he's joked and said that, you know, he never intended to keep this Nova for very long, as his original Nova was a 70 SS, and he only had that for 3 years. And he custom ordered that thing right to exactly what he wanted, but because he didn't keep it for very long, when he bought this Nova, he didn't think he was going to keep it for very long, so he just bought the basics. And every now and then he tells me that he wishes he would have opted for the SS package. And Chris says, yeah, Goodmark sells mega body parts and good quality. And in fact, this is a Goodmark hood, steel 2-inch hood. And Robert says he just replaced his gearbox. He got one from CPP out of Kelly with the new design on the top seal. Works pretty good so far. The one, the box I bought for my car was from carsteering.com. It was just a factory replacement. That's all I needed. And Chris also states that Goodmark, he bought his rad support and inner fenders from, and were perfect fits. Well, that's always good to know too. I know some people talk about replacement fenders from whether it's Goodmark or AMD, and they always talk about when you get them, you have to work the corners, because on the remanufactured ones, it's like a point instead of being nicely rounded. So I don't know who makes the best fenders. If someone wants to chime up on that, that'd be fantastic. And Terry and Tiffany there, Sean says they're going to check to see if they have a hood support to help you out there, buddy. So, yeah, that's Sean Michael Myers, Terry or Tiffany. If you could help a brother out, that'd be fantastic. I'm just going to put my lenses away so they stay clean and shiny. And I'm hoping one day to actually build a nice set and put a nice clear set on, because yeah, these ones, these lights here actually I got out of a 70 Nova at a junkyard, so they're not the greatest shape, and I think actually one's got a crack in it, but one day I'm going to make myself a nice pair. All right, let's put that over here, and then of course spare housings, so you can never have enough spare parts. All right, so Terry and Tiffany, Sean says thank you. Of course, you're probably reading this too, but part of the reason too, folks, I read out these comments is when you watch the video later. If you watch it on our Facebook group, not a problem. These comments will show up as you're watching it. If you watch it from our YouTube channel, you don't get the comments, and you just get to hear me blab and wondering what I'm possibly talking about. All right, where's a good place to get new front fenders? That is a good question, Rob, and I just asked that a couple seconds ago. You know who'd really be good to ask that question would be Dan Mrazek. I believe that's how you pronounce his name, from Midwest Nova Kings. See ya. Okay. From Midwest Nova Kings. He might have a good lead on what fits good and what would need less work. And Patrick says his 2-inch cowl hood is steel, and it's from AMD. So I'm actually curious to see what the difference between the AMD and the Goodmark are. The reason I got the Goodmark one, one evening I was sitting at one of our cruise lots in my 74 Olds Omega, and I was sitting in the lot talking with my buddy Ian, and this guy comes up to us in the car and says, I got a bunch of parts for a 74 Nova, are either of you two are interested? Of course, like a kid in a candy shop, it's like, ooh! Went to his house, he had a cowl induction hood still in the box, bought the hood and all his Nova parts, and then, well, as you can see, the hood's on the car. And then a few weeks later, I was driving going for lunch, and this van is just, driving erratically and following me, and I'm like, what's going on? So I pull over in the Wendy's where I went for lunch, and it's the guy who sold me all the parts. I need to buy those parts back. I got another car. So basically I sold them most of the parts back except for the hood. So that's my story. Sorry. All right, let's get back onto it here. So Terry Tiffany, they need some front fenders. I'm assuming that's what they're talking about. Oh, sorry, I just skipped a couple comments here. Josh Emery, Joshua, he says this is a great group of people in this group. Thank you all for the inspiration. Well, Josh, thank you, because you're one of those great people who are a member of our group. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we are very picky about who we let into the group. It's not because we're jerks or, being dinks or whatever. It's just because we want a good quality group of people. We want Nova owners in here. We're not really wanting the enthusiasts of that. Like, we have some members who came in before we locked the group down. Of course, they will be grandfathered and they are welcomed in our group. Same with our sister group, but we like to keep it just mainly for the 73, 74 Nova owners because, we've always been considered the outcasts, right? Between the third generation from 68 to 74. We've always been considered, Novas. They stopped making Novas in 72. Well, I had a battle with one guy in another group. I told him they stopped making Novas in 72, but they redesigned them and made them even better in 73. So yeah, with that, we are very picky. We do make sure that you have a picture of your face on your Facebook profile because we like to just make sure that you are owners. So if you are thinking of inviting friends of yours to the group, if they don't own a Nova, please speak to us first. Depending, we may make some exceptions. I guess it depends on the admin, the day we're having, and what kind of, how good of a friend they are to you. We do make exceptions on a case-by-case basis. So, but we do try to keep it to be, Nova, and we want to keep out the spammers, the trollers, and the drama people. All right, where was I here? Okay. Sean Myers here says, I believe when it comes to body panels and sheet metal, Auto Metal Direct is supposedly all bolt-on ready. This is from secondhand info. He's never purchased that himself. Third-hand info, I've also heard the same thing. I've heard AMD is very good. I've also heard of a place called Dynacore. I think it's called Dynacore or Dyna. Let me check that out here on the. Or is it Dynacorp? Dynacore. Body pals. Maybe I'm spelling it wrong. Dynacorn. That's what it is. Dynacorn. So dynacorn.com. And oh yeah, they have a thing here for Novas. So I'm just clicking on it here. Dynacorn.com. Dynacorn. They are Dynacorn International Limited. They are the leaders in muscle car replacements. Okay, so we'll check that site out later. Getting back to Chris, he can get original hood supports. Just pay the shipping. And he'll have them sandblasted and painted if that's what you need. I can get original hood supports. So there you go. Chris, I believe it was Sean looking for that. Chris and Terry and Tiffany, the three of you, I guess, might be able to work something out. And Larry Roach is just speaking up here. Anyone have proportioning valve issues? He still has his original from the 74. New power disc on the front, drum on the rear. Everything new except that. But just feels the brakes could be better. Larry, I've heard that the proportioning valve is actually pretty important because it will direct more fluid, I believe, to the front versus the back. And that will affect braking. So you may want to look into that. Especially if that's the only thing you haven't changed. Because I do believe proportioning valves are different depending on your setup. And Joseph Collins, how you doing, buddy? I believe he's got that, is it a 73 Nova with the 74 stickers on it? Or is it a 74 Nova with 73 badging? I can't remember. It's a beautiful kind of copper color, if I'm correct. And Dave Williams just replies here that it is Dynacorn, so we appreciate that, Dave. I found the website here, so I'm going to be checking that out later myself. And in Chris, so Sean's replying to you there for 73 hood latch support. And then Larry Gunter, how you doing, buddy? Dynacord used to sell a body pub to the general public. Now they just sell to vendors. Well, that sucks. You know what? They actually have a 805-987-8818, a phone number. I guess one could always call them and see. I mean, it shouldn't be too hard to get from them. I can't see them denying you. Excuse me. Okay, let's click on About Us here. What's it say? Blah, blah, blah. Stop there. Dynacord doesn't stop. Dynacord, we introduced first. Always ask for genuine Dynacord products. You know what? I wonder if they got quarter panels for 73. Well, let's take a look here. Sheet metal. Because I need quarter panels. And Greg, if you're still watching, I need quarter panels. Okay. So Nova, all years. Well, I guess so. Okay. Keywords. Quarters. Oh, it just did something. What did it do there? Okay. Nova parts. No items found. Okay, well, again, I'm going to play with that website later. Yeah. All right. Next, we have, Chris, just Facebook me, bud. Guy here has a yard that housed them. I can get them and pay shipping. I'm in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Oh, a fellow Canadian. How you doing, buddy? Winnipeg, Manitoba over here. Yeah, we don't have any of these kind of cars in our junkyards anymore. It seems some of the car guys in our area have friends at the junkyards and usually get first pick on the cars. So by the time they get into the general yard, they're pretty much, if you're lucky, even a subframe. They get stripped pretty fast around here. So unfortunately, those days of junkyard hunting for me are long over. Real Deal Steel is another source for replacement bodies, but he's not sure what they have for 73, 74s. That's from Larry. And Travis, how you doing, buddy? Travis Nicely. He's asking, has anybody ever used the Pro Car bucket seats? I can tell you one thing, not this guy. This guy still has the stock bench seat, but maybe somebody can help Travis out there. Travis, if you don't get an answer in our chat here, or whatever, yeah. Just post a question on the group and maybe somebody will answer it. And okay, Brian Turner's taking off. See you later, buddy. Thanks for joining us, and we'll try to get another stream going in a couple weeks and not wait so long. We got 21 viewers. I think that's actually a record for us. All right, so it looks like Chris is going to be able to help Sean out with some of the hood stuff. Okay, so if the car was changed from original, meaning 4-drum to 2-disc or manual to power, and any change in caliper size, the proportioning valve would have to be changed due to the regulated pressures. That is correct. Yes, I have heard that. So I forget who just asked that question earlier up. Was having with the brakes. Was that? I think that was Larry. Let me look. But yes, you may want to invest in a new proportioning valve. And Randall, how you doing, buddy? Nice of you to join us. And Craig Antonio, how you doing, buddy? Craig used to have a 74 Nova, but now he's moved over to the Omega side. He's an Oldsmobile boy now. Maybe Craig can quickly answer that question about proportioning valves if they have to be changed due to regulated pressures. And then Michael Badger, how you doing, buddy? Anyone have experience with swapping out an entire wiring harness? Are we talking inside harness, interior harness, trunk harness, or engine? Because I know the engine compartment is kind of a dual harness because you got your engine stuff and then you got your lights on a second one, and the way they connect to the firewall. So just need a little more information there. Okay, and Ronald here. Did I call him Randall? Ronald, I am very sorry about that. I was out west and stopped at Desert Valley Auto. A lot of older cars, a lot of them picked through. Bought a trunk and a fender. Not cheap. Not going to get any seats or stuff like that. Eric has joined us. How you doing, Eric? Eric, I believe, has a 74 Nova. And yes, Craig has confirmed you need a different proportioning valve. So if you've been watching tonight in the 55 minutes we've been on, at least you learned one thing. You need different proportioning valves for different type of brake setups. The other 54 minutes I've been rambling. Jimmy Hill still has his bench seat, has to make extensions as he's 6'3", and it's a little tight. Gained 4 inches with the extended brackets. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, 6'3". I'm only, 5'9". I wish I was 6'3", man. I could pick on a few more people. So yeah, that's got to be pretty cool. You should actually post pictures of the brackets you've made, Jimmy, because I'm pretty sure there's a few other people that might be a little cramped. And Dave Williams, good news! My students won first place at the top Tech Challenge at the Universal Tech Institute in Phoenix 2 weekends ago. 2 students left with $10,000 scholarships to go to school there. That's fantastic, Dave. That's good news. That's right. Dave Williams is the gentleman who's put together a Nova with some students at his school. That is fantastic news. Congratulations to your students. And Travis, I'm assuming he says, because he says here, yes, I did American Auto Wire. I'm assuming he's one of those people who have rewired their car. And Michael Badger as well, he has also done a complete wiring from the fuse block out. He ordered from also American Auto Wire. Contains taillights, front running, engine, charging, gauges, fuse box, etc. And Eric, what's up? Not much, just hanging out in the garage, watching my girlfriend struggle with her Chevelle there. She's doing some wiring to it. And I'm hanging out with my Nova buddies. And Richard, how you doing, buddy? Richard Beal has joined us. We have 27 viewers. Wow, I don't think I've ever had 27 people watching any of my streams from any of the channels I'm on. That's fantastic. Hopefully I'm keeping up and not boring you guys too much here. Sean messaged me on Facebook. And I can get him original ones. Okay, so he's dealing with parts in another chat here with Sean Myers. That's awesome. Appreciate you helping him out like that, Chris. That's fantastic. And Travis, Mike is asking you, how long does the entire install take? Do you have to remove the old before installing the new? And Sean expresses his congratulations to you, Dave Williams, and to your students. And then Jimmy will get on that. He will post some pictures of those extended brackets for us. So that'd be pretty cool. Eric is not liking the tucking of the bumpers. Did you actually do that in your car, Eric? I wasn't realizing that you were tucking them. But if you don't like it, you can always put it back. Or secondly, as mentioned before, you can always use 73 brackets on the front if you want just, a bit of an outing, but not, enough that you can set up like a picnic table out front. But hey, if you don't like it, you can always reverse it. Nobody says you have to keep it tucked. And Craig Antonio's got some more information for us here. The rear brake line going to the proportioning valve has a different size fitting. So when they built the cars, they knew which valves were for disc and which were for drum by size. Craig, I'm glad you told me that, because I guess I'm going to have to order a new brake line kit, which would suck because I've already done that a couple years ago when I had to change my front lines. This is why I haven't converted to disc brakes yet. And Dan Platt says, hello. Hey, Dan, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. I'm assuming you're new. I don't recognize your name. I've seen your name in the past streams, but it's great to have you. Welcome. Hopefully you're finding us somewhat entertaining or informative. Please feel free to tell us a little about your car. And what do we got here? Okay, Jimmy Hill's taking off. Jimmy, so long. We'll see you again. Hopefully I'll have a stream sooner than later. But yes, post on the forum and stay active with us. It's good to hear from you. And Travis and Mike are still chatting it out there. John Davis, a little late, but I need to hear. What time is it over there, John? It is 9 o'clock here. And yeah, we've been online for 59 minutes. And then Richard says, hey, my favorite people in the world. Sorry I'm late. Don't worry, Rich. We kept the spot in the parking lot for you. Glad you could join us. Haven't really talked about much. Just a little of this, a little of that. A little bit of discussions, as you've probably heard now, on the brakes. Doing brake upgrades from disc to, or drum to disc. Yeah, upgrading from disc to drum. And Mark Wayne Jeffries has joined us. How you doing, buddy? And Dan is new here. Hey, Dan, welcome. So that's I thought I didn't see that name before. So definitely welcome to the stream. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. If you do go onto our Facebook channel, you can into our Facebook group. On the left side of the menu, there will be a column that says videos. You can click on videos and you can see past streams along with some of the chats. If you're really interested in watching past, some shows go about an hour. Some have gone to about an hour and a half, 2 hours. It all depends if people keep chatting. Once the things usually die down, that's usually when I end it. And Dan has a 74 Nova SS hatchback. And Dan, by all means, you should post some pictures of that, because we love to see pictures. We love stories. And hey, burnout videos are cool too. I noticed we've been getting a few of those lately. And I've got some tires in the back of the garage there. I might throw on the car and have to make a burnout video myself this year. It's been a few years since I've done that. I think the last burnout video I made was 2003. And even then, that was pretty crappy quality on the camera. And John, it's 7 p.m. where he is. So you're obviously in Pacific. So you're out in the West Coast area there. And Chris is taking off because it's 11 and it's off to go to sleep. So Chris, thank you for joining us. And yeah, I'll keep doing what I do as long as you keep joining the stream and participating. I'll try to have something going for you here. And definitely look forward to your posts on the forum. So yeah, definitely stay in touch, brother. And have yourself a good night. And Ronald here, talk Dan, I just picked up a 74 hatchback. Gonna go check to see if it's an SS, but it has no motor. You can throw a motor in there. Not a big deal. Hatchbacks are cool, that's definitely for sure. This is from Sean. I have been admiring those machines on the group for a bit. I really like the hatch tent setup some people are restoring. For my trunk model, it would be a very cramped tent setup, I'm sure. Out of all the Novas I've had, Sean, whether parts cars or drivers, and really I've only had 2 drivers, I've never had a trunk or a hatchback car. All my Novas and Omega parts cars have been trunk cars. No hatchbacks, but I would definitely love to have a hatchback. I mean, you throw the back of the seat down and, well, it's like a half a truck back there. And the tent, how cool is that? You set up, you sleep in your car, you get out of the tent in the morning, close the hatch and go drag racing. How cool would that be, right? And John Allen has joined us. Has anybody used a fiberglass hatch on a hatchback with stock glass? That's a good question. I've seen that posted in the group, but I don't think I've ever seen anybody reply to that. So to our dear friends with hatchbacks, are any of you using a fiberglass hatch with the stock glass? And Dan says he's up on the East Coast state, New York. How you doing, buddy? I'm in the center of Canada in Winnipeg, Manitoba, in the middle of winter. And Craig Antonio says he has 2 of the hatchback tents. Craig, buddy, pal, you might have to sell me one of those when you sell me that rear 73 bumper you got. Looks like Ronald's already beaten me to that Craig want to sell one. So he's already got dibs on that. So his car is only a 2-seater. For the most part, mine's only a 2-seater too. I've got, the full interior of my car, but I have speaker boxes on the floor. And used to have a CD changer that I just kept on the floor too. So there wasn't any room for people to put their feet. But if I have to take a passenger in the back of my car, I just have to unclip my speaker and somebody can sit back there. All right, where do we go? Okay, we're gonna go get pounded with lake effect snow. Oh, we're going to get pounded with lake effect snow. Well, hopefully, Dan, it's not going to be too bad for you guys. I know sometimes I watch the weather and it looks like the east gets hammered pretty good. I know eastern Canada usually gets hammered really good in the spring. And I think they had, what, over 6-7 feet of snow blizzard this past year in December there. It was like the roof of people's houses. Oh, I couldn't take that much snow. All right, New York. Oh, so Sean Myers is also in New York there. So, hey, you guys might be able to meet up. That'd be kind of cool. I know we have 3 or 4 members from the Chevy Nova 7374 Nova group in Winnipeg, Manitoba. There's myself, Rob Exner, Greg, and Larry Barr. And we all sort of know each other, but I don't think we've ever all met up at the same time. So I may have to try to organize something like that this summer, or try to have a huge 7374 Nova stream going on in here. So Dan says they're supposed to get 2 to 4 feet of snow. So that's what, 24 to 48 inches, I think. So that's a good amount. That'll slow things down a little bit. Terry and Tiffany ask if anybody in Kansas in here. I want to say Kim Nova Girl's in that area. I can't honestly remember. I wish I had a better memory for you and a better answer for you, buddy. But you know, there's one way to find out. You should post a picture of your Nova on the group, and you put, "I'm from this area. Where are you from?" And then, of course, everybody's gonna jump in, because everybody loves to post pictures of their car, and you'll find out very fast. All right, so has anyone ever put a 200 metric in their Nova? That's Dan asking that. And Dan, I have. I had a 200 metric in my 74 Oldsmobile with a 305, and it bolted right in, same length, same cross member, same drive shaft, not a problem, but was a really weak tranny, and I blew it up with a 305. So I don't know if the transmission was any good when I got it or not, but it'll bolt in. It should work, but yeah, it's a 200 metric. It will work. And Eric looks like he's taken off because it's 10 p.m. Yeah, he gets up for at 5 a.m. So do I. I get up at 5:30 actually. So yeah, I like to be in bed by 10 myself. But Eric, thanks for joining us. And hey, post some pictures of your car with the tuck and without the tuck, and let us know how it goes. Personally, I'm happy to hear you don't like the tuck. And hey, Mr. Dan Clem, the builder of that motor. Mr. Dan Clem is in the house. How you doing, buddy? You got to come over here some night. I got to have you here so we can do an engine episode of a stream. You guys need engine questions? He is the man to ask. And Dan says he wants spring because he misses his car. I feel for you, Dan. Like I said, my car's been in here since the end of September, and it won't be out till probably April, mid of April. And there's sometimes, I just even sit in the car just to be in the car. But I've been spending a lot of time in the garage between my car and my girlfriend's car, doing car stuff. So, I am getting my car fixed, but yeah, it's still not the same as driving them. I do have a little YouTube channel I have called Dave's Days of Summer, and I make kind of a little video blog of the car scene here in Winnipeg. So I have a lot of video of me driving or at the track that I've been watching lately when I've been editing, and that's been helping me pass the time until I can get the car on the road again. But yeah, I'm I'm starting to go through some serious withdrawal here too, buddy. And Sean he said 2 to 4 feet. Well, isn't a foot 12 inches? So 224 to 40. So I thought I was right there. 24 to 48 inches of snow. And Craig, he says he's usually up before 4:30. Yeah, I am too. It's usually just to go to the washroom, but I try to get back to bed if I can't be up at that time. On weekends, there's sometimes I'm going to bed at that time, especially in the summertime. And Craig said he fired up his Omega. That's right. Craig's got an LS swapped 74 Oldsmobile. And Dave Williams, it looks like he's taken off. So Dave, good night. Thanks for joining us. And hopefully you will join us again. Keep posting pictures of your car, buddy. And again, congratulations to your students. And I see things are dying down a little bit here. We got 16 viewers, but as long as the chat's going, I'll still keep things going and I'll still keep rambling on here. If it starts to slow down or people want to call it a night, hey, I'm game either way. And I see, yeah, as I said, with Dan Clem joining. Dan, what's up? Come on, talk to me, buddy. So I'll just wait for a moment, see if anybody's going to chat. See what's up. Oh, I'm getting the itch to drive. Especially last year, like running the Holley Sniper EFI. I had my car at the track, and I've been an announcer at our racetrack for the last 2.5 years. I haven't had much time to play with the Sniper and do tuning and that with the car. But last year in August, I had some time to go out, and I made a bunch of passes, and I found that my car was breaking up around 6,000, 6,200 RPM. So I tried playing with the timing. I was originally running it at 36. I brought it down to 35, 34, 32, and 30. As I did that, you could see the time starting to climb. So we put it back to 36 because that seems to be what it likes. It likes to be launched at $2,000. I figured that out. And then I started playing with the AFR and adding more fuel. And unfortunately ran out of time at the end of the day, but I got the car down to 1268 with a 40 kilometer an hour wind. So I was pretty happy with that. So I'm really looking forward to taking the car out this summer and continuing that tuning, because I also have the CAN bus to USB connector, so I can connect it up to my laptop and do further tuning. So really starting to learn the system. I really like it. It's probably been one of the best upgrades I have done on the car since originally putting HEI in back in 1999. Pretty much doubled my fuel mileage. It saved me from tons of fouling up plugs. Of course, I think I was also running the wrong plug. I wasn't running a hot enough plug, so the fuel wasn't burning completely. But that Holley Sniper, I mean, it's like turnkey. And I bet you when I connect it up in spring, and I am going to make a video, just going to connect the battery, prime it, and I bet you it's going to be turnkey, fire up. So yeah, looking forward to that coming up. And we got some chats here. All right, well, Pat's taken off. He will let us know the status of his bumper tuck. And when he has it done, of course, Pat, take the pictures. And, Dan's thinking about selling his car as he had a major heart attack in November. Oh, Dan, that's unfortunate, buddy. Glad to see you're on the mend and still with us, of course. And hopefully things will work out for you so that you can keep your car. But definitely hope the ticker's doing better for you, buddy. And please take care of yourself. I value all the members we have in our group. And Sean says his has been off the road for 6 months doing an engine build. He's doing a 1968 327, and he's getting really antsy to finish it. I know that excitement of building motor. I love doing that. It's too bad it's so expensive up here because I'd probably be doing it more often if I could. And Dan says to feel free to add him as a Facebook friend if anybody wants to chat. And he will post a picture of his car on the group. So that's fantastic, Dan. And of course, add me too if you want to chat. I'm usually around, always willing to talk Novas or shoot the crap, whatever. Yeah, so guys, if you want to add Dan as a friend, he's putting the invite out there for everybody. And Ronald says he wishes he could just play with the Novas all the time. Yeah, so do I, buddy, so do I. Dan's talking about that he runs his at 32. I'm assuming he's talking 32 degrees of timing. I found with this 406, I can go 36. I have tried 38, but when you hammer on it quickly or when it gets warm, it starts to ping a little. And I'm actually running 92 octane fuel, so premium up here. But I found 36 is good for here. However, on my Olds Omega, I have a 355 in that with Vortec heads, also built by Dan Clem and HEI. And I've played with the time in between 30 and to 36, and I think right now I have it at 34. And on the that car, I'm running. What am I running? It's F55, an F55 plug, I think. One sec. Oh, a TR 55 plugs, so it's a heat range 5 plug on the Omega, and those plugs run really nice with those Vortec heads. On this car, I'm running the NGK R5671, and I believe they're dash 7s. Are they dash 7? Yes. Sorry, I've been walking over looking at my parts there. So I'm running a dash 7 right now. I was running a dash 8, and I found that my plugs were really fouling up, that they weren't like completely burning clean. So I went with a 7, big difference, and I'm toying with maybe trying a 6 range this year. But again, we'll see how the car runs. I'm going to take the plugs out before I run it in spring just to see what they look like. But they looked good the last time I had them out. And Larry's taken off. So Larry, thanks for joining us. And keep those pictures of your car coming. Okay, anyone know what I would look at to see if my hatch is an SS, like a VIN number? Has it got a trim package on the outside, or a nice stamp, or nice straps with chrome covers on the inside? It's really hard to tell an SS from a non-SS in 73, 74 because it's not a VIN code, it's not a CAL code, and you could basically order your SS with all the options or none of the options, depending what you want. The real true way to tell would be is if you had the bill of sale, the build sheet, and the build sheet could be in many places. It could be on top of the headliner, under the dash pad, under the back seat, or on top of the gas tank. And I found mine last year on top of or 2 years ago on top of the gas tank, and sadly, due to the weather elements and everything, it was literally destroyed. But I'm lucky that I know the history and the complete on mine because my dad bought it new, so I still have the paperwork of the order sheet, the invoice, and all that. So if you're lucky enough to have that kind of information, that's probably the easiest way you could tell if it's true SS or not. But the SSs you could get with really any option in 73, 74. I'm sorry I don't have a better answer for you, bud. And if Dan says, if I were to sell it, he would like it to go to a member in our group here because he would like it to go to a good home. Well, Dan, of course, we will do what we can to try and help you and help relocate your car and give it to a good home. And you yourself, regardless if you still own the Nova or not, will be a welcome member still here at 73, 74, of course. And again, sending some prayers your way, buddy, for your health, and hopefully you can keep that car and use that car for therapy. And oh yeah, Daniel Kroll says the same thing. Got to find the build sheet. And Dan says his is a 350 that came with the car. And for me, Sean's asking, do I have roller rockers and cam on that small block? Yes, this one I've got the Extreme Energy 294 here. I'll get the specs. I have the Extreme Energy XE 294 hydraulic, 250, 256 duration, 519, 523 lift with Pro Comp aluminum heads, which are 64cc. And I found out my braking up at the top end was running out of fuel because when I started adjusting the AFR and bringing more fuel in, that brake up disappeared. So that's why I left the timing at 36 after, because I figured that was a good number. And yes, I have the Crane or Comp Cam Ultra Gold Series roller rockers on that puppy. But yeah, my problem was it was running out of fuel. I think the AFR was set at 12.5 or even higher than that, and I got it down at 12.0. And next year I will start going down, to like 11.8, 11.5, and going from there. But that's what my problem was with it breaking up on the high end. It wasn't timing, which I thought it was. It turned out to be lack of fuel. Okay, and Dan says he is proud to say that his car has the motor it was born with. Woohoo! And I can sort of say the same thing. I like to tell people my car's numbers matching, even though it has a different motor, different transmission in it. I still have the numbers matching motor and transmission pulled out, put aside, because for some godforsaken reason, I want to return this to a 352 barrel with all the admission control and, sell it as original. I could, but that's never going to happen. You're pretty much going to bury me in the car. But it's always nice to say, yeah, you know, it's numbers matching and stuff. I always like doing that. So, Dan has sent a couple of replies to you, Ronald, about where you could possibly find the build sheet. The seats have been known to get redone. It's done under the seats. It's got chrome around the windows on the outside. The chrome around the windows on the outside, along with the impact stripe and chrome around the signal lights and your tail lights, could be just part of the custom package, which was available in 73, 74. Because I had that on my Nova as well. And mine is definitely not an SS. Yeah, like I said, I got the chrome around the windows. I got the chrome mirror. Chrome signal, the impact stripe on the front and rear bumper. I don't know if you have the chrome strip down the side or not, but those were all options on the custom package on 73, 74. But Ronald, you might want to check on top of the gas tank if you get a chance. Oh, okay, yeah, the gas tank goes okay. I missed that chat. And it could be on top of the headliner as well. I've actually seen one on a parts car that it was on top of the headliner. All right, headliner is still in there, so hopefully it's there. So or the dash pad could also be under the dash pad. And yeah, it looks like a couple of viewers have left us, so we're down to 12. So yeah, let's. I don't know if you guys want to wrap it up or keep chatting, but. The chats keep coming. I'll keep yapping. It's 20 after 9. We've been online for 80 minutes. That's pretty good. Pretty good. We had 27 viewers at one time. 192 comments. Well, let's make that at least 200, folks. If everybody takes a moment to say goodbye, we'll hit 200. Here we go. Here's 193. And Sean Myers, he says that his Nova was the custom package out of Burbank, California, not an SS, and it has the nickel-plated side window trim. Oh, okay, that's cool. And Dan, I don't think there's a way to tell if it's an SS without a build sheet. Yes, that's true. And then, Robert Martino, he's still here with us. I got the next cam down from yours, but I wanted that cam. Well, so I guess you got the 284. I guess it also depends too what you're running for heads, intake, and all that, and what you want for performance, Rob. I know you talked to Dan as well about engine builds, and you know I want to give you my personal guarantee. Dan will never steer you wrong. He's been so good to me in this build, in the build of the Omega. I don't even blink an eye when Dan tells me anything. I don't even care what it costs. Dan, build it. That's how much faith I have in Mr. Clem. And what cam do I have in the Omega? In the Omega, here, let me see. I have it written down because I can't remember everything with all the cars around here. The Omega, like I said, it has a 355 cubic inch small block Chevy with Vortec heads, and the Vortec heads are machined to accept the higher lift cam. It's got the Extreme Energy, the Extreme Energy XE274 hydraulic, 230, 236 at with 490 lift, and that's at 50 degrees lift there. So that's what I'm running. Yeah, 230, 236, and 490 lift. And it looks like, Joseph Collins is taking off. So good night, sir. We will see you again. Craig Antonia, his Nova, that yellow one, was a hatchback custom. And Dan says, but around the side mirrors are painted black were the side mirrors painted black on the SS. I know the sport mirrors were available, but again, SS's in 73, 74, you could order them with a 6-cylinder if you wanted. They weren't a specific model with specific options. You could order them across the board with everything, even, like I said, a 6-cylinder. And Sean has taken off. So Sean, good night. Thank you for joining us, sir. It's Very nice to hear from you. And keep those videos and keep posting. I got your video, and I'm going to post it up on our group shortly onto our YouTube channel, which of course is called Chevy Nova 73-74. And oh, hey, we have hit the 200 comment mark. Robert has asked, what is the quarter mile time in my Omega? My Omega, like we just went over the thing, 350 Vortec heads, that comp cam 274. I'm running a 650 double pumpers carburetor on it, jetted 6571 with a 6.5 power valve, and I'm running an MSD Pro billet distributor on it. And it is running, last year my best time was a 1336 and a 1338, I believe. And I want to say that was around 103 miles an hour, but I could definitely check the tickets because I have them inside on the table. And when I dynoed that car, let's see if I have the dyno results on here. It was 274 rear wheel horsepower and 297 rear wheel torque, and that was back in 2016 with that combo with full exhaust. And yeah, it'll run a 13, shifting it at about 58 to 6 grand, and then shifting it about 52 to 55 in second. And that car also has the 10 bolt with 373 posies, running a, let's see, I'm running a 235 60 tire. So I'll give you the tire size here right away. Oh, it helps if I spell it right. A good website for tire information, folks, is tiresize.com. It's got a calculator, it's got comparison, it's got charts. It's a great site for tires. All right, so tire calculator with the 235s. I'm running a 26-inch tall tire on that 74 Oldsmobile there, Rob. Okay, hey Ronald, I don't know if you can post a picture in the chat here, but definitely post it in our group, and we'll see it. That's where I'll be going from here. Right away, I'll be going to check the forum to see what I've missed in the past hour. And Dan is calling it a good night. Dan, thank you for joining us. It's great to talk to you, and I'll probably send you a friend request there shortly. And definitely stay in touch, buddy. And Bonnie, hey there, I love this group. I am an owner of a 74 SS hatchback. It was my very first car and got it when I was 16. Oh, that's awesome. I've had it for 41 years and it still has the original motor and tranny, and it runs great. Love taking it to shows. Lots of fun. Oh, that's fantastic, Bonnie. I believe that's the yellow one, is it not? I believe you have that yellow one with the black vinyl top. Because I remember looking at the picture the other day. I was going to put it up as the picture for the group. But I know we had one of your pictures up before, and I have like 300 pictures to go through. But you do have a very beautiful one indeed. And thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing it with us. And of course, keep posting those pictures. Take the pictures at the car shows. We love to see them. And Robert was saying, okay, he has talked to Dan Clem and has gotten everything, and that he should run a good time. So yeah, Robert, if it's set up similar to how the Omega set up with carb and all that, it should be a low 13 to mid 13 second car. Also depends on the air quality in your area. If your air is better than ours, like the density of it, that will affect times too, up to like a half a second. But you know, it's, you know, don't expect to run 13.3s right off the bat. You got to learn the car, learn your shifts. You may run a 13.9 to start the day, but as you learn your car, you may finish off with like a 13.4, 13.5, and you may finish off better than that another day, depending, again, on air quality too. So, of course, good luck, and keep the pictures coming when you do run it. And if you can, get some video. We'd love to see some racing videos. And Craig, all my sport mirrors were painted the same color as the car, and he's taking off. So yeah, good night, Craig. Thank you for joining us shortly there, and thank you for that information on the proportioning valves. And Robert's got Pro Max heads with 185 inner to 6 inner runners, 64cc 202.16. So those are in a Pro Billet distributor, 650 carbs. So you pretty much have the same setup I do, Rob. So I would say, yeah, easily low to mid 13s. Hopefully, yeah. And then, of course, Robert's saying hello to Bonnie there. And I think that's I'm going to wrap it up, folks, because we're down to just under 10 viewers. If you joined us earlier today, thank you again for joining us. I always enjoy coming online here and talking about Novas and talking with you guys and getting the chat going. Please post pictures, post the stories, post videos. Love seeing stuff with 73, 74 Novas. I don't even visit other Nova groups anymore. And really, this group and you people are the only reason I haven't deleted my Facebook account yet, because I love Novas and you're all great people. I really enjoy the group. I really enjoy being the administrator of the group. Everybody is so fantastic. I don't even really do any administrating stuff because you're great people. So thank you very much for being a part of our group. As I mentioned in the beginning of the group, if you are suggesting members to the group, we do kind of restrict membership to owners of 73, 74 Novas. Some exceptions may be made on a case-by-case basis. Don't hesitate to email or personal message myself, Kim, or William, or Tim Bourne. And if it meets the criteria, we can make an exception for you. But we do look that people have pictures of their Novas in their Facebook so we can verify that you are an owner, and as well answer the questions on the application. So go through these last few questions here, and just Rob talking about I'll chat with you after about the car there and more about the Omega. And he says he misses this. I do too. I've been so busy with hockey, and usually I try to do this on a Tuesday night, and I've just been so busy. And tonight I had a free night, and I thought, you know what, I got to come online because I miss doing this too, and I don't want you guys to think I've given up on you. So Dan, over in Alaska there, good night, sir. Keep warm, and hopefully spring will come soon to you. Pat Newman, have a good one, buddy, and hopefully you get those cattle all rounded up in time. And Bonnie, good night. Thank you for joining us. Hope you caught our stream a little earlier than that, but hopefully we'll see you again next time. We'll see all of you again next time. And thank you for watching the Chevy Nova 7374 Nova Hour.